How we doing, everybody? I'm Andy Malfran. This is Drag the Lake. Today on this video, we're going to talk about the current updates to the As I Lay Dying situation and what the hell's going on with Tim Lambesis. He posted a statement on the whole matter. I have not looked into this yet. You are going to be watching it live with me as I read it. So let's hop into this and figure it out. But before we do that, actually, this is Drag the Lake. We're a podcast. If you end up liking this video, please hit the subscribe button. We give you lots of content every week. On Mondays, we let you know what the good music from last week was. On Wednesdays, we post album reviews. And on Fridays, we do a podcast with me and my buddy Pat. It's a real good time. If you like this video, you'll like everything else. So hit the subscribe, hit the thumbs up, algorithm stuff, all that noise. And then also, we do topical videos like this. So let's hop into this. This whole situation has been very interesting. To catch you up if you're new to it, basically last week, I believe it was last week or the week before, all the members but two of As I Lay Dying. There was 5 total members. Their guitarist, drummer, and bassist, not including the original guitarist of the band, all of those guys quit, which was very funny. Thank you for whoever commented this on my last video. I did not know about this because I listen to As I Lay Dying occasionally, but I'm not like a hardcore fan like that, so I don't know the ins and outs of who's quit and who's been in the band. But since Tim's been out of jail, this is actually the second turnover the band's been through. The newest guitarist, drummer, and bassist that just quit, they've only been in the band since 2022, which a lot of people weren't mentioning. And it adds like a whole nother layer to this thing where it's like you look at what could potentially be the problematic details and just adding that little bit of info just ups the ante on how problematic this Tim dude is. And then on top of that, right after we posted the last video, the original guitarist who's been with the band since day one, he also quit the band. I forget his specific reasoning or what his statement was or anything like that. But basically, he quit the band. Everyone but Tim's added the band. And then the other day, Tim finally posted a statement. I've been very busy. I haven't had a chance to get around to it till just now. So let us hop into this. It's on his Instagram. Tim is talking about it. We have the statement right here. Let me move my cute little head so I'm not blocking the statement at all. Make myself a little bit bigger. Why the hell not? Anyway, so here we go. Tim Lambesis, As I Lay Dying. Hi, everyone. I need some time to process all that has happened recently with As I Lay Dying. It's so funny because you've also like waited a minute. You've like waited a minute to reply to this. So it's like you could just, it's like when a rapper raps about how he's about to rap. You're like, just rap. You don't have to be like, I need some time to process this. It's like, you saw this coming, by the way, dude. As I reflect, I certainly agree that there was an unhealthy environment that made leaving for a new tour with the previous lineup unrealistic. Damn, that's crazy. Because he's like just flat out acknowledging that the idea that we were going to do a tour was crazy. It was that difficult and unhealthy and shit. It had become difficult to figure out even the smallest details, and I admit I can stick strong to my vision for the future of As I Lay Dying, even when others think it should go another direction. That's interesting. I'd be very curious what the dynamics were, like who was being difficult with who, because I got to be honest, if I'm joining As I Lay Dying in 2022, especially because I'm a drummer. My mindset is with the drums and stuff like that. And if I'm joining As I Lay Dying in 2022, even if I'm the guitarist or bassist, I'm sure the original guitarist was a bigger songwriter. Now, I guess the new guitarist probably had more of a songwriting. I could see them having more of a songwriting dynamic, or whoever the fuck it was, because sometimes the drummer's the song. I know that was like the Descendants. I think it was like their drummer wrote most of the songs. I know, like, in Fall Out Boy, Pete Wentz wrote it. So whoever was the songwriting guy, I could see them having a little bit of a problem. But if I was another member of the band and I'm joining As I Lay Dying in 2022, that's so interesting to me because it's like I would just, like, hang the fuck out and go, like, what are we playing? When are we touring? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not joining As I Lay Dying in 2022 thinking I'm going to have a heavy artistic input. But yeah, who knows? Maybe this is a cover up for other things, or yeah, maybe that just is what it is. It saddens me to think, and this is, by the way, why I still think it's more like financial stuff over anything, because it is like kind of crazy. It is kind of crazy to join As I Lay, or I should say, the concept of joining As I Lay Dying in 2022, and then like dying on some artistic hill is kind of insane. You're like, yeah, you're kind of in an already established brand and you're just the new guy that they hired. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's like, I don't mean to be insensitive, but there is much more of a hired gun energy, even though most of the band are former members of Unearth. But regardless, it is, you're in As I Lay Dying. You joined As I Lay Dying in 2022. I'd just be like, all right, what are we doing? It's a job for me at that point. So that's why I more lean towards Tim and other entities screwing these guys over financially over like, ooh, it was artistic differences. You know what I mean? It saddens me to think about the behaviors, communications, and patterns of interactions that led up to the tour cancellation. Phil and I no longer saw eye to eye. Phil and I no longer saw eye to personally. Oh, he left out eye to eye. I had the right instinct saying eye to eye. He left it out. Phil and I no longer saw eye to eye personally, creatively, or financially. So there's the financial. Yeah, dude, I don't know. I feel like it's not the creatively. It's like, who gives a shit? That could also just be me, like, not being huge into As I Lay Dying. Because I'm sure these guys artistically were much more passionate about it than I am kind of approaching it with this energy. So I'll pull back on that, I guess. Discussions during the time prompted his decision to depart first, with each of the touring members deciding to leave shortly after, as they were not interested in going on without him. Interesting. So he's saying it's mainly Phil. And which guy was Phil? I'm boning up on my As I Lay Dying information. Phil was... Wait. God damn it, AI. Best known as the rhythm guitarist of American metalcore band As I Lay Dying. Okay. But Phil didn't leave earlier. Maybe Phil announced... See, that's interesting because Phil didn't announce he was leaving till after the other members announced they were leaving. So maybe internally Phil, if this is correct, internally Phil's like, fuck y'all, I'm getting out of here. But he didn't make a fucking Instagram post yet. The other guys are like, well, I'm going to get out. That, I don't know. That doesn't fully add up. It feels like a weird progression. Discussions during this time prompted his decision to depart first, with each of the other touring members deciding to leave shortly after, as they were not interested in going on without him. Unfortunately, that wasn't the order in which everything was made public. All right, he's just in that, as some statements were rushed out during a chaotic time in response to rumors. I fully support each of the guys' decision to leave and believe at this time it is best for everyone. With that being said, my door will always remain open to discussing anything directly, as I believe closing communication lead to many assumptions and problems of its own. Now, regarding what's next, As I Lay Dying was founded on a persistence and determination. For anyone who's familiar with the foundation years of 2004, damn, they've been around for 24 years. That's wild. That's what I'm saying. It's like, dude, it has to be financial stuff. Who the fuck is getting into a band the 22nd year being like, I've got some songwriting ideas? It's like, dude, just tell me what to play, man. You know that more than 20 people, whom I'm incredibly grateful for, have come and gone to help bring to life this vision I've had in my head since I was 19 years old. Look forward to building a new team, creating an atmosphere that is supportive, positive, and fosters a creative environment. Through Storms Ahead will still be released November 15. I am proud that what we've created and look forward to sharing it with all of you. Yeah, so doesn't really say much. Yeah, I mean, I don't care too much. I personally don't have any like sort of strong emotional stake in this band. I'm more just coming at this from like an unbiased entity. I don't, I've talked about it before. I probably on a personal level, I probably wouldn't hang out with Tim Lambesis, but I've talked about it before. I didn't stop listening to Dance Gavin Dance, and if you've watched this podcast, you've seen me be like, yeah, it feels like you probably fucking did, if not all, most of that, what the girl said. So, there are definitely deal breakers for me to be like, oh, I'm not fucking with the band anymore. But Basically to say, I don't fault anyone for still fucking with As I Lay Dying. So it ain't some shit like that. I very rarely listened to the band, so I'm just letting you guys know I don't have like a strong emotional stake or investment in this band. Just trying to call balls and strikes and shit like that. Yeah, did not really say much. Some of the stuff didn't. I said it before, but some of the stuff didn't really add up. I mean, I'm just going off just simple logic in my mind. Doesn't really make sense why the other guy, maybe the Phil guy. But, like, I don't know, dude. This is when, like, okay. So you're telling me Phil stuck with you through, you put a hit on your wife, went to jail for 6 years, or tried to put a hit on your wife, went to jail for that for 6 years, came back, started the band up again. Is this the second album since he's been out of jail? I don't know if this is the first or second album since he's been out of jail. I'm sure they've gone on a bunch of tours since he's been out of jail. No, they had one right before. Okay, so first album out of jail, but still, and I'm sure Phil hasn't been an angel this whole time, the 24 years. I'm sure he hasn't been an angel the 24 years. So this whole idea that like it's just the whole idea that creative differences would be a real sticking point, I just don't believe. I just don't. I'm having a hard time seeing that as a huge element of any of this. And I'm kind of repeating myself from the last video, but it just seems like it's heavy financials. It seems like it was like super bad financials. I'm guessing, I have no proof of this. Just keep that out there legally. So this is all alleged. I have a soft guess that Tim might have been like fudging the numbers and shit, and they found out he was, or he was trying to get a bad deal or like a NWA situation where Eazy-E gets a crazy good deal, and the rest of the guy, Eazy-E's eating steak, and Ice Cube and the boys are eating fucking hamburgers and shit like that. It could be something like that. I don't know. Could be something like that where Phil's trying to cut a big ass fat deal and just treat the guys like scabs, or not scabs, but just low level peons. Because there was a part in here where discussions during the time prompted his decision to depart first, and with each of the touring members deciding to leave shortly after, which is an interesting. Now I'm not, like I said, I'm not aggressively familiar with it, but were these guys considered just touring musicians, or were they like official songwriters? I don't know. I guess they were just touring dudes. It's hard to tell, but regardless, like the way I'm reading that kind of doesn't come off great, referring to them as just touring musicians, where there's nothing wrong with being a touring musician, but from my understanding, they were like official members of the band. Now in this statement, he's calling them touring members and shit like that. So very interesting. I'm sticking to basically what I said before. I think it's a big financial thing. I think they're probably not getting paid enough, or they found out Tim like really screwed them over on some shit. That's my best guess. I have no idea. And we'll have to wait till either something else comes out, someone records a podcast, or something happens. All right. Thanks for hanging out. Just a reminder, again, if you like this video, every Monday, I let you know what the good new music is. We do some album reviews, and on Fridays, we have a podcast. This is a podcast. Listen to our podcast. All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good one. Like and subscribe. Be about it. Peace.